Welcome to As the Story Grows. I'm Brian Patton. We have an extra pod this week. Today we welcome Branson from the band Toxins to the podcast. Toxins independently released Existential Dread on June 9th. Branson talks about his journey to living in San Diego, starting a band during lockdowns, trying to tour as an independent band, and more. Make sure you check out Existential Dread in the show notes and enjoy today's chat with Branson from Toxins.
Yeah, no, thank you. I haven't done one of these. I've never done an actual, one through... I've only done an in-person podcast, and then it was filmed. It's a buddy here in San Diego.
Oh, cool. Yeah, how are things out in San Diego these days?
They're good. We've been going through a gnarly June gloom, so it's been just overcast every single day, which sucks. But
yeah,
other than that, it's been good, you know?
You grew up in San Diego?
No, I didn't grow up in San Diego. I'm originally from Utah.
Okay.
Yeah, I lived in West Jordan, Utah, just outside of Salt Lake City by like 20 minutes, and then did Portland, Oregon for a little bit, and now I've been in San Diego for 10 years.
Nice. What was growing up in Utah like?
It was fine.
Yeah.
I really, really hate snow and cold weather, so that sucked for me. But yeah, it was good, you know?
Yeah.
San Diego's way cooler, I would say.
Yeah. What were you into as a kid? Were you just like into sports or art or?
I was really into soccer, and I'm still really into soccer. I played it growing up.
That's cool. I never got into soccer. I missed that one. But I didn't play soccer. I think if you play a sport, you probably have a connection to it that's deeper than like if you didn't. Like I played baseball, so I love baseball, and people are like, baseball's stupid, and I'm like, but it's not.
Oh no, I love baseball too. I stopped playing baseball at a young age, and then started doing soccer. But yeah, I love the Padres. Nice. My wife and I go to games and whatnot, and now we're supposed to be good, but we're finally good, and so.
On paper, that team is very stacked. It's not worked out this year. It's been rough.
I know, almost to 500.
I'm a Braves fan, so things are pretty good here.
Yeah, my cousin from Utah, he's a Braves fan, and so things, are going smooth.
Yeah, it's very good. What got you into music, man?
So my first concert that I ever went to, I think I was in like 4th or 5th grade, and it was Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
And then, and then I listened to, I want to say the same year, I heard Blink on the radio or something, and I was like, oh, I like this a lot more than I like Backstreet Boys. Not a dig at Backstreet Boys, but like... I just like Blink a lot better, and then so that fueled me to get into drums. Okay. And I don't play drums anymore, but I got drums because of that. My mom took me to a Blink show. Me and my neighbor Quinn took us to a Blink show the following year.
Oh wow!
And I saw Travis Barker playing drums, and I was like, I really want to do that. And so then got super into Blink after that, and then this is why I like physical copies of music, is because the Blink CD that I got, on the back of it, or in the credits, it had all like the thank yous, and then I was like, oh, they're thanking Descendants or NoFX or Pennywise, Unwritten Law, and so went through the rabbit hole of that and got super into all of those bands, and ever since then I've just been really into music.
That's cool. Yeah, those thank you lists were like so important. Like I just remember opening up the cassette tape and being like, who is this band thanking? I don't know that band. Let me go buy their tape next, or buy their CD. And that's how you went down the hole before Spotify and Wikipedia.
Yep, 100%. That's how I got into it.
which is cool. At what point, what made you quit drums?
So I was taking drum lessons for a few years, and then my parents, when I graduated high school, they ended up moving to Portland, Oregon.
Okay,
and I stayed in Utah. And it's very hard as like an 18-year-old to have drums and an apartment.
Yeah.
So got rid of the drums, didn't play music for a little bit, and then ended up getting a guitar. And so I could play the guitar in the apartment. So got the guitar.
Nice.
And then, that's how I stopped doing drums.
Gotcha. Just not convenient anymore. Not like a lack of love or skill. It was just like, I don't have space.
Yeah. Well, and even like talking to my dad about the drums, and he was like, if I could go back, I wouldn't have you got the drums. I would have gotten you the guitar, because when you're the drummer, everyone comes to your house. And he supported the music for sure, but he was like, everyone goes to the drummer's house to practice.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
Been there. So you went to Portland to, because your parents were out there. That's what took you that way. Yeah.
I spent maybe like a year and a half in Utah after they moved. And then I had met my wife, but she was my girlfriend at the time. And we moved to Portland and lived with them for a little bit. Yeah.
Nice. At what point in there did you start playing in bands?
So my first band was with my neighbor Quinn that ended up going to the Blink show with me. We were really young, like 12 or 13 or something. And him and I created a little neighborhood band where we would have my little siblings' friends come over, and we in Utah, like the houses, the basement is below ground level. So my bedroom was below ground level, and then we would just open up the windows and they could sit outside in the backyard. And then we didn't have a bass player. It was just Quinn on guitar, me on drums. And that was the first band.
Nice.
And then I had a high school band, and then out of high school, I had a little band. But then when I moved to Oregon, started a band up there. It was all right. And then when I moved to San Diego is when I got like into like bands.
Okay.
Yeah. They were like actively playing shows and releasing music and whatnot.
Yeah. What took you to San Diego?
So long story short, I grew up coming to San Diego on vacations because my grandpa found out that his dad was from San Diego.
Yeah.
And so my dad was like, we got to go to San Diego. It's a vacation town. And so we started coming immediately. And so I have family members out here, and I've always wanted to live here. The Blink thing, I always grew up loving Blink, and they're from here. Unwritten Law, even Bucko 9. And so, I always wanted to live here. And then when I was 24, my job was saying, we're opening up a branch in San Diego. And I was like, well, I'm volunteering for that one. And then we were able to move, me and my wife.
Nice. What were you doing at the time for work?
Medical billing. It was very boring. Very boring.
Nice. You don't do that anymore?
No, thank God. I can't call people and try to take money from them. It feels so shitty.
There are jobs that people have where you're like, what a soulless existence. Like anybody who's got to get parking tickets, it's just like, I get it. You gotta pay the bills, but everybody fucking hates you.
I got in trouble at my the medical billing job a bunch because we were doing anesthesia billing, and so there'd be lots of like younger ladies that had kids, and their bill would be like $3,000, and they'd like, you have to collect $300 from them. I'm like, well, that 17 or 18-year-old doesn't have $300 to give to us right now. So I'd be like, what can you pay? And they'd be like, $10. I'm like, deal. That's fine with me. And then end up getting written up and getting in trouble. But like, I couldn't do it. It's like,
yeah. You had a conscience.
Yeah, exactly.
Man. Let's talk about Toxins. How did this band get started?
So we got started when COVID numbers were starting to drop.
Okay.
And you could start like hanging out again, a little bit. I wanted to start a new band. I was already in another band called Midnight Block, which is more of a horror pop punk band.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to do more of like punk or like hardcore-ish. And so I hit up a friend who had just moved. He actually moved right before COVID. Sucked because then he moves here and then COVID and he can't meet anybody. But I had known him prior. So I hit him up and was like, hey, I'm trying to do this. And I sent him over like 2 songs, I think, that I had. And he's like, I'm in. And then I had another buddy, Sean, who plays guitar in Toxins. And I hit him up. He was in this band called Piss Regardless. They're more of like hardcore. They're definitely shreddy. Like he loves Propaganda and Wilhelm Scream and stuff like that. And I hit him up and I sent him the songs and he's like, I'm in. And so, yeah, we just kind of started, was that 2021 when the numbers were dropping?
Yeah.
Or right around there?
Yeah, summer 21.
Yeah. Roughly. And so we started, I want to say we started maybe a little bit before that, and we did like social distancing band practice where everyone wore masks.
Yeah.
And we just stayed, and we were way more than 6 feet apart, but we all wore masks and just showed up at this big room and just jammed and worked on the songs and then left. Yeah.
Man, that's a tough time to try to start a new band.
It was, and we were talking through like Instagram and stuff throughout, like through 2020 and COVID, and kind of getting the ideas going. And then, yeah, it was rough.
Yeah. Where'd the name for the band come from?
We had a couple different names that we were floating around, and then we ended up on Toxins because it might sound shitty, but we like to drink and like do other stuff and like so toxins right in your body that are not good.
Okay. I was wondering if maybe it was like a straight edge thing, is like toxins like bad, but no, the opposite of that.
The exact opposite of that.
We like the toxins in our body.
Yeah.
So funny. That's so funny. Yeah, I was like, man, Toxins is like such a hardcore name, and then you put on the record and you're like, okay, like there's some hardcore elements in there, but like it's way melodic. And I shared it. I'm on a Discord server for another podcast, and I shared it, and like people were like, oh, this is super cool. This is like nice and melodic and fast. So people dig it. So
well, thank you for sharing it. Like definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, this album you just released, Existential Dread, talk to me about the title and kind of theme around that record. It seems an appropriate, like, a band post-COVID. Your record is called Existential Dread.
Yeah. Our singer came up with the name, and it's mentioned in the lyrics on, God, I'm blanking on the song title right now. This is a terrible time to blank on it. But yeah, he mentions it in there. So he's the one that
Dead Eyes?
I think it's Dead Eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one. I heard it on. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he came up with that, and it just sounded cool.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, that works with it. And that album actually took us like a year, maybe a year and a half to like get all the songs done and recorded. And we flew this guy his name's Alex. We flew him out from Brazil to record us. Our drummer's from Brazil, and they grew up being friends. And so we flew him out, and he just stayed with us for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. And we recorded it all in our practice studio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience. And he's super good at what he does. Like, he plays in a band called Water Rats. And I think they're pretty popular over in Brazil.
Okay.
So he recorded the whole album, and then he mixed it, and we sent it over to Chris Fogel in Denver. I think he's living in Amsterdam right now or something. And he did the mastering for it and sent it back. Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. I was listening through like your demos and EPs and earlier stuff. Like there's definitely a progression where it's like the band, it feels like, is working itself out and figuring out what kind of band they are, and like this record is the product of just all that hard work coming together in this full length that works really well.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, what was that? What when you start writing, like you're doing this social distance stuff, like what's that process? How has that evolved and changed? As like now you guys can all be close in a room together and not masked up.
Yeah, we went from doing the social distancing in a big room. Now we have our own practice studio that barely fits 5 people.
Yeah.
We're super close. On the first couple songs, it was songs that I had already like written prior, just during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and then now it's Sean does a lot of the writing. He's really good at just writing songs and guitar in general. And then he just brings it to the studio, and then we all just go from there. And Matt can like do lyrics on the fly, not lyrics, but like a melody. And then he'll even start singing some lyrics, but like right off the bat on the fly, he can pull it off. It's pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. There seems to be more hardcore elements on the full length than some of the demos and EPs earlier. Is that intentional or just the evolution?
Yeah, just the evolution.
Yeah.
And even on on Existential Dread, there's like some more like, I wouldn't say poppy and like more rock songs almost.
Yeah.
Than just our first ones where it's just like yelling and screaming and then fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it that, this progression of just like being comfortable as a band to write whatever and finding that flow on an album where it's like these songs make sense as a whole cohesively?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think that helps, like, because of the digital age of music, like you want people to like, get the whole record and listen to the whole record, but like having a diversity of songs that like somebody might discover something on a playlist and become a fan of something that is different than like the yelly stuff?
Oh yeah. One of our songs, Watch Me Struggle, which is from Recovery Room. It's very poppy. It's like a little slower and whatnot. And people really love that. But then they'll also like the ones that are yelly and screamy and fast. Mm-hmm. So I like having the diversity. And then I think our drummer likes having the diversity over just fast songs the entire set.
Yeah. Yeah. I went and saw New Found Glory on their Sticks and Stones tour, and it's like halfway through the set, like Cyrus, I was just like, dude is tired.
Yeah.
It's like this is too fast and too many songs. The dude is tired. He's old now. Yeah. I mean, he's probably my age, but that's old now. So.
I actually just went and got a tattoo from Jordan from New Found Glory.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he lives here in San Diego.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty cool. It's like
that's rad.
13-year-old Branson was freaking out, and then 34-year-old Branson was still freaking out.
Yeah. There are a few artists who are tattoo artists as well, and I'm like, they're on my bucket list of people to get tattooed by. Then I just want to do it. Yeah, Jordan, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he was super cool, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I gave him some Toxins shit because I had to.
Nice. Nice. You're not the lyricist, but do you know any of the themes and lyrical themes throughout this record?
Matt's very honest in his lyrics, so he writes everything about, like, when you hear one of his songs that he wrote the lyrics for, he's singing about what he's actually going through at that time. Like, all of them are very true and very honest.
Yeah.
And he likes doing that because he says he feels like people can connect to very honest lyrics that are also going through the same thing. So yeah, all of the songs that we have, those are what Matt has been going through at the time.
Okay. It's very interesting. You're like the third punk artist I've talked to in probably the span of a month. And it's like, there's a pop punk act and then like a Riot Girl act. And then you guys that are more like that kind of old school hardcore punk. And the lyrical approach is very different for all three. It's very interesting.
Oh, really?
Like, this umbrella and genre punk, like I feel like pop punk, all the songs kind of fall under this umbrella of like nostalgia at this point, especially we're all getting old, and then like the like Riot Girl band was very political and like patriarchy and and you guys are just like, this is personal what's happening, which like your style of music could also go political too, and so
we are all very political, but I don't think we're gonna go there, but yeah, it definitely could be.
the album came out beginning of the month. What's your plans for the rest of this year?
So we were booking a tour for July that kind of fell through. We've scrambled and got some dates. We were doing like LA, Oakland, Santa Rosa. Right now we're working on like Sacramento, trying maybe San Francisco, Pacifica, just working our way back down to San Diego. Trying to do some Arizona shows maybe in August. And yeah, we're just trying to play as much as possible.
Yeah. Is it tough trying to like put your name out there and like be heard in just a sea that's a watching music? Or are you just like, are you grateful that it's like so open and anybody could discover you like by accident or just on purpose? Like the accessibility is there that somebody doesn't have to go digging through a CD bin to maybe find you as an indie band.
I mean, it's definitely hard. But we did like a couple Spotify ads for our Brown Bag Special song. And then we'll have people that from like all over the place that have bought the record and like, I saw a Spotify ad for this song and now we're shipping them to Germany, Canada, like Florida, all these other places we've never been before. So it definitely is helpful. Yeah. Like social media and Spotify, but yeah, we had to pay for that.
Right. Right. But the influence of reaching an audience is greater than just like your ability to tour at the moment. And especially like, we're still in a phase where everybody's touring all the time to try to make up for the COVID years where nobody could tour. And it's like, if you're an indie band, forget about it, right? It's near impossible right now.
Like, we would love to tour Europe and whatnot. We've never been to Germany, obviously, and we're selling records to Germany. So that's cool. Like, my wife and I have vacation in Germany. It's an awesome place.
Oh, but, been to Berlin. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. That's where we went 2020 or 2019. Yeah. Right before COVID. Nice. We went to Oktoberfest. It was awesome.
Oh, man. Thanks for listening to As the Story Grows. Our intro music was written and composed by Jeremy Hunt. The As the Story Grows theme is by Bob Nana. If you like what you hear, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and give us a rating and review. If you'd like to support the show financially, you can join us at patreon.com/asthestorygrows. Be a part of our community and join the ongoing conversation over on Discord. If you enjoy this episode, share it on social media with your friends. Much appreciated, and thanks for listening.
I never felt so young.